Does the fact that humans are intelligent mean that we're likely to survive? Or will we blow ourselves up or pollute the Earth so badly that we can no longer live here?
Things we might like to know about is how long the human race is likely to last. And we can be helped in reasoning about this by using the Copernican principle.
Richard Gott has devised a formula for predicting how long the human species is going to last. He begins with the assumption that there's a 95% likelihood that we're living during the middle 95% of humanity's total tenure. To date, Homo sapiens have existed for about 200,000 years.
So there's a 95% chance that you're located in the middle 95% of human history, and that therefore the future longevity of the human race is likely to be longer than 5,100 years, but less than 7.8 million years. Now, those numbers are interesting because they give us a total longevity that's quite similar to other species.
All beings who have learned that the universe is old must also know that by comparison they are young. The longer alien civilizations typically last, the better our chances of communicating with them. The lights on this tree represent technological civilizations that might have arisen in a given galaxy over a period of 1 million years. The length of time that each light stays on represents the period during which each civilization is willing and able to make radio contact with the inhabitants of other such worlds. If the communicative worlds typically stay on the air for 500,000 years, their persistence is rewarded. Each finds that it has plenty of contemporaries with whom to make radio contact. So if civilizations last a long time, SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, is a cinch. But watch what happens if alien civilizations typically last only 100,000 years before they become extinct or lose interest. Now they find that there are only a few worlds on the air at the same time they are. And if they're typically on the air for only 100 years, then each finds itself almost certainly alone. 100 years is longer than we here on Earth have yet been listening for signals from the stars. So SETI requires that alien radio buffs stay on the air a lot longer than we have. The great void in interstellar communication is not space, but time. There may be creatures out there who live as long as sequoias and reside in cities older than the pyramids, but on the cosmic time scale, even those civilizations are fleeting as fireflies, brief flickers in a wheeling galaxy. What monuments might they have built to leave some trace of themselves in the annals of cosmic history? Perhaps they long ago established a permanent network to link inhabited planets and preserve a record of their histories. If so, the first signal we receive could come from an interstellar internet. Deployed over eons by robotic spacecraft, such a network could bring libraries of information within relatively close reach of emerging worlds like ours. Communication can bridge time as well as space, revealing the histories of societies that disappeared long ago, and offering clues to how our species might best navigate its way toward the dim and distant future.
I mean, a species, generally speaking, lasts a few million years. That's sort of typical of a species. And if that's true of our species, well, that's fine. We're in good shape for another million years or so, and that would be plenty of time for most people.
There are more stars in the universe than there are grains of sand at the seashore. And our human desire to communicate runs so deep that we're willing to send messages even though we're not sure who might receive them.
Dear readers, what is life like on your planet? Do you have a pet?
Do you have any special abilities like zapping people?
Do you have any friends?
Do you speak in different languages?
Konnichiwa. Les étoiles sont les balles de gaz des fous. Do you have wars?
Today we have the means to send messages to the planets of other stars. But is anyone listening? We don't know how many alien civilizations exist, or how long they typically last, or how many of them take the trouble to broadcast signals. What if everybody's listening and nobody's sending?
Scientists involved in SETI hardly ever transmit anything, either because they'd probably have to wait decades or centuries to get an answer, or out of fear of betraying our presence to aliens who might, for all we know, be hostile toward us. But what if someday we did want to send a message, a powerful message beamed to a planet where we had some reason to expect there was somebody listening? What would we say?
I want to know if they're bad guys or good guys. If they're good, we can work with them, right?
Dear extraterrestrial, please respond to this message by sending a radio signal back on the frequency at which you receive this message, making due allowance, of course, for your motions around your star. Send that signal at a power level such that it arrives on Earth with at least 10 to the minus 23 watts per square meter. And leave your transmitter running long enough, let's say a few months, so that one of the searches now operating on Earth will receive it. Then we can really get a conversation going.
I would say, please forgive us for making so much noise. But talking is what we do all the time, and maybe the reason we don't hear the aliens is because they are different and they keep quiet.
What an awesome, self-unfolding, miraculously generative universe we are fortunate enough to share. That's what I would say.
What I want to know from you is, what's your biochemistry? I really want to know whether life has to be done through DNA or whether there are lots of other ways, and I need another experiment to find out. And the other thing, I will give to you the B minor mass, because that's the best thing we've ever done. But I'd like to know whether you've ever done anything that beautiful, and if so, what was it, and share it with us.
Our intelligent species has been around for 200,000 years, and we have sent members of our species to our neighboring moon. And we've learned something of the laws of physics, and we've learned where we are in the universe. How are you doing?
Greetings from one of the species that inhabit Earth, a blue planet orbiting an average star. We call ourselves Homo sapiens, by which we mean that we're capable of mathematics, science, and the technology by which this message is being sent. We're the only such creatures on this world, and so far as we know, the only ones to have lived here throughout its long history. Science has brought a better life for millions of us, but many more of us still live in poverty, tyranny, and ignorance. Sometimes we wonder if there's intelligent life on Earth. We've only just glimpsed the vastness of time and space and of our own ignorance. We've learned that we have a lot to learn. And so we're dispatching this message in hopes of learning something about you and about ourselves. We request the favor of a reply.
Within the next half hour.
You can see the entire continent of Australia from here. Oh my goodness.
Pretty impressive, isn't it?